Hi guys, it's Richard here from Arsenal TV. Al, thank you for inviting me on the channel and let me do this to get my point across about the Wolves game the other night. Where do I start? Well, to be honest, if we look at the whole game itself, for the opening 45 minutes of that game against Wolves, Arsenal was absolutely dominant. You know, we played absolute brilliant football. My only disappointment was that Arsenal, I was very disappointed that we wasn't 3 or 4-0 up in that game. And then, you know, Mikel Arteta and the players could have gone in at half-time and said, look, we're 3-4-0 up, lovely jubbly, you know, let's have a cup of tea, let's go again. But no, it wasn't that straightforward. Then you look at the whole incident that happened with David Luiz. And there's only one thing that you can sum up this game against Wolves, and it is utter corruption by the FA referees in this country. That's how you can sum it up. It is corrupt. Now, I personally think that the whole David Luiz situation, if you look at it and look at the actual replay of it, David Luiz did not even touch the Wolves player. Didn't even make the slightest of contacts. But yet the referee gives a red card. You had someone in the box for the BT Sport, and he turned around and said that make sure you take him out. If you take him out, you're gonna get booked. Hold on a bloody minute. Are you having a laugh? So you're telling me I could take the guy out, take his legs out, and still get a yellow card, but I'm still giving away a penalty? David Luiz did not make one single contact to the Wolves player whatsoever, and he gets red carded very, very unfairly. An unfair red card, and I don't care what anybody says, it was unfair. In the rule book, it says for an accidental foul, it's a yellow card. He didn't even touch him. So what would you do? And what bothers me is that I've got no problem with the VAR whatsoever, okay? But you got dinosaurs of the referees that are in this country that are still running it. The referees need to be responsible for their actions and their mistakes. That's why I have turned around and said that referees should be interviewed after games, where they can say, oh, why did you make that decision? Why did you give that red card? That's what we need, some clarity from the referees. But no, they don't. Even the person in the VAR box probably looked and said, okay, yeah, it may be a red card, but can you go over to the screen just to, you know, have a look at it yourself? That wasn't even done. You know, the referee didn't even go over to the screen to check it himself for another time. He didn't. And what people forget is the same referee that was officiating the game against Wolves was the same referee who officiated us against Liverpool at Anfield when Sadio Mane elbowed Kieran Tierney in the opening 3 minutes of that game. It's the same referee. It is the same constant mistakes by these refs. That's what it is. It's the same constant mistakes every single game. And things need to change. That needs to change. I've suggested, why don't we go and get the referees that are officiating the European matches to come and officiate the Premier League? You might as well do that instead. Because the English referees that we've got that officiate in the Premier League are utter useless, and they are dinosaurs. That's what they are. So there's my rant on the game. I personally don't blame Arteta. I don't blame him whatsoever. I trust in the process that he's doing at Arsenal. You know, we've had a good transfer window as well, to be fair, in terms of the circumstances. I'm not going to blame Bernd Leno for his mistake, because really, David Luiz was already sent off in that game. You know, he only had one other defender, and, you know, he had the other two fullbacks. So there was nothing he really could have done. If you look at the height of the ball, only thing he could have done was to hit it. He couldn't exactly, header it. If he did header it, he would have got kicked in the face. And he would have got kicked in the head. So, really, I don't blame Mikel Arteta whatsoever. I'm blaming the referees. We was robbed in that game. End of story. We was robbed. And all Arsenal can do now going into this game against Aston Villa tomorrow at the weekend is that we need to put this game behind us. And we need to go out there against Aston Villa. As you know, they've come back from a defeat as well against West Ham. So we need to go into this game against Aston Villa, full confidence, with no fear whatsoever, and go and get the 3 points. That's all that matters. We're not really, if you look at the league table, we're actually not that far from the top 5 and top 6 positions. We're not really that far away. So that's the only thing I can suggest is that, for the Wolves game, we was robbed. It was corruption. That's how you can officiate it. Our performance there was nothing wrong with our performance at all. I don't think there was. Really, the game against Wolves, that could have been done and dusted within the first half an hour. Another thing I want to mention about the referee as well in that Wolves game, it was 1-1. Now, I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but when the 2 minutes was up for the added time, for the full-time whistle, he had the whistle to his mouth already. But soon as the Wolves player was in possession and running that goal, he put the whistle down. That, to me, is corruption by the referee. That is how you sum up the Wolves game. Corruption, robbed by the FA as well. Because now for David Luiz, Arsenal have gone to appeal against David Luiz's red card and they've actually turned around and said the red card is standing. So they're just as corrupt as much as the referees are. So there you go. There's my thoughts on the game. And now, thank you very much.